right, so in this one, I actually saw this video pop up on my feed from Takashi here. It's getting hard to log into Dragon Ball Legends, and I agree. It has been a roller coaster of what it's been, and roller coasters notoriously go up and down, and the down right now is in the dumps. I mean, we're getting obviously all these 1% buffs, which aren't even like bad, and it's like that's great. I love to see 1% getting buffed and actually being competent. Yellow Junior actually feels pretty decent. Yellow Hit's not bad. Kai Wei is decent. Dispos, whatever, he's I at this point. There's infinite red units, so who cares if he's good or not? Obviously, it doesn't really matter too much, but and even then, it's like that's awesome. Again, I love to see these things, but in turn, it's also like while these units are good and they feel solid and it's nice to see, it doesn't really matter at the grand scheme because of what the top tiers are and kind of how they just like atomize everything in the entire game. So I'm curious what this video really is about and what he's going for here within how hard it is to log into Legends, because I agree, it's just maybe it's a different take on how and why, and well, we have no content this week, so we're trying our best here. There's really not much I can do, guys. If there's so much I could do, I would do it. Maybe a hit video's coming soon, I don't know, but it's the bottom of the barrel, man. It's post-Annie, and things are just rough for everybody.
Getting real hard to log into Dragon Ball Legends. This happens every single year. Post-celebration, whether it's the anniversary or the festival, in this case the 8th anniversary, Dragon Ball Legends just goes downhill. Or maybe it doesn't change so much, but how we feel about it goes downhill. I've seen a lot of people been struggling to log in. Me personally, I still log in every single day, but it's not easy. I just keep it as part of my routine because I know there will be a time where I really want to play Dragon Ball Legends, and that's a lot of points throughout the year. I don't feel like Dragon Ball Legends is in any way, shape or form a bad game. It has its downs, it has its negatives, but for the most part, I play it almost every day. Well, I do play it every day, just not PvP necessarily, and I'll talk about that later.
The fact that you don't play the PvP aspect of the PvP game is kind of goes to telling of, look, I don't even know, man. Like, there's a argument to be made, like, this game sucks, obviously, because there's points that this game fucking sucks. I'd argue right now, it's not very good. It's like if you don't own an anniversary unit or anniversary buffed unit, basically shouldn't even exist, right? You don't own UVB, you don't own Gohan Trunks, you don't own Broly, you don't own Buu Duo, even if you're not even like, having UGB, you don't own any of those guys and you're trying to play right now. This whole campaign we just got, you're not going to be able to like do anything. Even with 17 Frieza, if you had them peaked out and everything, it's very top heavy. And this game's been like that for a good minute. And this is kind of one of those like, you got to fix it, but then why even make it? Like, this is what big celebrations always do. They always make it where the game's top heavy as shit, and then everything the next 5 months is trying to reacclimate and get everyone back to the same level, and then within that next 6 month is another big celebration where you're literally just retreading the same waters over and over again. It's like in part 1 it felt decent because you're still running into Legend Rose, you get TGB buff, you had Broly, you had units from the big celebration doing very good. Even Legend Bardock wasn't like the worst thing ever. He still wasn't obviously ideal because UGB, but still he was like still solid enough, and things were existing. But how it is kind of like, again, the trend of Legends, it's like, boom, part 2 drops. Okay, then here's UGB being argued as irrelevant because Gohan Trunks exists. Or here's Broly getting fodderized by Gohan Trunks. And then here's part 3 where Buu Duo, okay, well, UGB is victimized. Okay, Buu Duo is victimizing Gohan Trunks. And it's a cycle of destroying what's the newest top with the newest top tier. And it's just, again, retreading the same waters over and over again. I don't consider that a good thing because how can you ever consider that good? There's nothing good in that asset. You are forced to reclaim the next best thing. But then in turn, it also is the dichotomy of, okay, 17 Frieza dropped. They're very good, but like you don't need them. Awesome. Then you get shitty Kaioken, and it's also, so you need someone to be broken to be even worth running and worth your time. But in turn, you get someone that's mediocre that maybe could be worth your time if they were a little bit better, but because they're mediocre, they're not worth anybody's time. They're just shit and joked about and laughed at the entire time. So it's like you got the super top heavy essence of the anniversary units and all these things, and again, trying to correct them within the next 5 months. And then once you're trying to do something that's different and trying to be kind of like hurting one of those units and still being a failure within like a Kaioken-esque unit, you get a nothing factor. So it's like you need a top tier to drop, but then you also can't have like a mid tier drop because then they have no sequence. But also if you get a new top tier dropping, then in turn you also have nothing new because it's just re-heavying the top tiers only and then re-emphasizing them and not really helping anybody else. So I don't even know the middle ground, but it's just been the trend for like the last year. Like go back to 7th year anniversary, go back to part 2 there. All since then, it's been just going, the next big, the next big, the next big, the next big. And you got some decent aging, like, Ultra Namek, and then Blue UI gets a little resurgence after some time, and blah, blah, blah. But the trend of it is, like, just the big new. If the big new is shit, then just the previous big new, and then till the next big new. And it's like, there's nothing in between. There's literally anything factor. And it's just, like, what is that? It just feels like business. Doesn't even feel like an actual like game at that point.
Later. So ultimately, I like this game. I think Dragon Ball Legends is super unique. It's the reason I've stuck with it for so long. Unlike other mobile games, you know exactly what you're gonna get out of them. The same things you've seen all over. Usually the turn-based system, something a lot of us hate, which is why we play Dragon Ball Legends specifically. Shout out Bleach though. They got their new game dropping soon. It's looking like Dragon Ball Legends. So when it actually drops, I think it will be fire. Regardless, why does it feel so different out of a celebration? There's a lot of things to point out, but let me know in the comment section how you feel right now about Dragon Ball Legends. Are you vibing with it? Are you...
Legends right now is just boring. I mean, I could be sometimes during celebration, I could play this game for 7 hours straight. Now, I'm struggling to get to 3 hours straight in this game. And, 3 hours is a long time. It's an eighth of a day, but I should be able to get on this shit for 5 hours straight and just have fun. I'm talking like not even like losing and not having fun. It's like I'm winning, and I'm winning so effortlessly because I'm running the units that you just have to be running. And again, if you don't run them, you're just going to make your life hell, and just isn't fun to make your life hell. There's so much nothing effort. I'm just like, it just gets stale. It's a stagnant situation because again, you drop something that's just not good enough to make any diversity kind of spawn, and then within that, well, we're just going through the same meta we've been going through for the last like 2 or 3 months, and it's just kind of boring at that point.
Super hype right now for whatever's gonna release next, or are you feeling a bit worse about the period right now? I'm sure you have your own thoughts. Right, so first off, let me just get the obvious out the way. In a celebration, there's obviously continuous anticipation for the next thing, and it's supposed to be, and I say supposed to be because sometimes we get stinkers, a high quality release. Just like Vegeta said, I need 15 lousy seconds, and he needed a minute. I stream on Twitch and I play games that are not Dragon Ball Legends. Here are some games I played recently, and
I love the promo. I'm alright.
Appreciated. In part 1, we got an Ultra and a Legend unit. In part 2, we got 2 game originals.
Deadass forgot Child existed. Not gonna lie to you. Holy fuck.
How you feel about both of them is up to you. I'm talking about the 8th anniversary, obviously. And in part 3, we got one of the best looking Ultras we've ever got in Dragon Ball Legends history. Honestly, the quality is some of the best we've ever got, ever. And that's how it should be. They should be increasing the bar with every single release, in my opinion, inside or outside of the celebration. Just going forward, the releases should get more and more high quality. Once we leave the celebration, and in this case, we get animations like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. Brother, you're just spamming Kamehamehas. That's going to decrease the feelings towards...
I like that area change on him. That's like the only good animation. That was the one thing I actually liked about him. But he does have a repeat, unfortunately, of a bar-to-bar, one-to-one of the 7th Annie, Red Kaioken, which it's like, if we're gonna reforce this, laziness spectrum, can we at least do someone that was a little bit older? Like, holy fuck, that guy's touching a year old and a little change. The fact that we're retreading him is just fucking crazy.
Dragon Ball Legends, especially since we're already leaving a high. Granted, Golden Frieza and Android 17 are really good, but they didn't do their typical after party, and I easily see this unit being an after party unit or even part 2 celebration worthy, because the animations they were pulling...
They should have been part 2 instead of the fucking goddamn reused 2022 head ass motherfucker, but I rest my case. Everyone knows that.
Festival Goku and Hits combined with Legend Broly with the way the enemy was getting flung about. High quality stuff. So I don't know how we went from the whole celebration 8th anniversary animations into Golden Frieza and 17, which are also of the same caliber, to just Goku doing Kamehamehas. Granted, the Goku model is phenomenal. He looks great. His hair glowing, the aura, fine. We gotta give them some grace with the way they're putting together these character models. But the animations, they could have definitely worked a lot harder. Just giving us Kamehamehas is pretty much, a lot of people would say at this point.
Both Gokus from the Tournament of Power don't do the Spirit Bomb, when that's like the most infamous thing Goku does that isn't UI in a Tournament of Power. And it's like, so what the fuck are we doing? How is this Goku, the one that fought Jiren here, I get it. It's from technically the after where it's like Evo Vegeta and he just became Evo. It's Goku fighting in Kaioken State. I get it, but like, I don't give a fuck. Why is he not doing a Spirit Bomb? Like, how is 17 Frieza quality so good, and then this is this? It makes no fucking sense, bro.
Slot, especially because of the source material from the Tournament of Power. There simply is just more they could have done. The Spirit Bomb, for example,
disc.
they could have just twanged the ending
The fucking
a bit more.
key bombs that he does.
You know stuff was happening in the TOP where the enemy, Jiren in this case, he's just strong, man. He's strong as hell. But cool. The animation drop is outrageous, right? And obviously we also have the Chrono Crystal drop. Now this makes sense given that they're not releasing 2 releases every single, release. I said release a lot there. But every time we get a unit, there's not going to be 2 at once. It's going to be 1 unit, 1 legend, 1 ultra, whichever they're dropping. So the amount of Chrono Crystals we need for the monthly releases, it's not as much. So they're going to be giving out less Chrono Crystals. But that also means there's less to do. Because if they're giving out less Chrono Crystals, that means there's less grinding to do. There's less events that are going to come out, less creativity, less
here. The caring about all these, whatevers, bro. The PvE, the events, whatever you want to say. I've never given a shit. I did not download this game with the intent of, yes, let me do events. Like, I get it. You want events. I get it. You're happy with them. But, like, brother, I don't give 2 shits. You don't give 2 shits. The premise of them is just to give you CC to summon. Just give me fucking CC. Just let me have extra CC, bro. Don't make me do dumbass events. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather log in, claim 1,000, and then move on my day in the PvP or just log off and then whatever. I get the retention thing, like a business thing, like giving retention time to your app is better for business modeling to actually see like, wow, people give a shit about us still, despite Big Celebration being over. But like also it's very point blank that no one cares to do them. People just do them by force. Really, people don't even log in during these times, so just giving free CC like they have been with gift box CC of like 1,000, 100, whatever they're doing for these questions and all that shit. Just keep it. But we're getting like the Icarus event, do a zillion energy to get Icarus supporter 99, which I don't even know what the fuck that guy even does. The fucking dragon's twerking on my screen. Like, I don't know what's happening. That's fucking insane. Don't want to see that shit. And get 3,000 CC from it. Only if you own Kaioken, though, you can get the most amount of CC, and it's like... And you have to do exchange shops, so people that have 20k can't even fucking get it because they have the CC limit. It's just like, just give me 3k because it's a 3,000 day celebration. Just give me that shit in my gift box. Let me fucking move on. I'll be back during Big Celebration where you want me back because that's where you give a fuck about me. Here, you don't give a fuck about me. You give me reused dog piss like this, you don't give a fuck about me. So I don't want to be here. Just give me that shit in the gift box. I'll log in. Boom. You get your retention rate up because people logged in for that CC. Get me the fuck out. People do not care enough to log in for these fucking events and shit. No one ever will. You can't convince me they will. You do not give a fuck enough to do the, do the max damage to the fucking enemy Hercule bot as blue, red, yellow, purple, green. Oh my god, I'm so excited to fucking damage stack so far to Rising Rush a bot that, I have 3 blue cards against them. Whoa. You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to see this shit. Give me my shit. Let me get the fuck out. The retention rate, bro, if you actually make your game worth playing more and actually give units value to where, well, it actually becomes interesting, you'll get your retention rate. It's an earning thing. Retention rate of, well, now you got to do co-op. Well, now you got to do the fucking Zenkai stages. Like, brother, just let me have my shit, bro. Like, I'll never give a fuck about events. I never have, and I never will, and I think it's the stupidest shit. Anyone ever mentions events, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Move on. They mean nothing. I'm not here to play an event. I'm here to fucking fight people. If I'm not fighting, I'm off the game. That's most people, and if you're here for events, you might just want to go to Dooogote because that's where you want to actually do events, and maybe the game, gives a shit about you there. Sometimes.
Ideas they're pushing. So in terms of fun we're having, the decline is super sharp. And I feel like there should be more consistency throughout the year of them trying to spice things up. One thing I will give them credit for, they've implemented these fun events that we saw a lot of in the celebration, but I think they've done some between like January and the anniversary anyways, where they put these challenges and they tweak the units kits so that for the specific battle in the events tab.
Again, okay, I'll give credit to this, I guess. Sure, they made the events unique. I still don't give a fuck. I downloaded a PvP game to PvP. When I downloaded this game 2 years before the first anniversary, when I first started playing, I didn't think, oh, hell yeah, I can't wait to farm the 99, 100 stages for Red Vegito to 14 star, 7 star back then. I didn't. Sorry, that just wasn't part of my mantra. And I guarantee most people when they ever download this, they're not thinking, I can't wait to do the PvE event to get this guy and that guy. No, man. I don't want to give credit to this. I give grievance to this. This is a waste of resources. You're wasting resources giving me shit no one asked for. I will never ask for a fucking event. It's a PvP game. Stop giving me slop shit. I'm trying to give a fucking, throw a bone here, but like, at the end of the day, you didn't download this to do a dumbass event. You did not. I did not. You never will. You never have. No one ever will. Unless it's testing a free unit or new unit, because it's free, because you get to test them, like Legend Vegeta, I guess you got to test, or like Second Dan, you got to test Omega and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Okay, those I'll give grace. But because it has the new character, that's the only reason you give grace, because it's literally promoting the new character. Like, no shit, I give grace to that. Those are it.
Just something unaccessible, and you can get infinite vanishes in some cases. Like I think if I use my memory, we had a TN doing the tri-beam and he could just spam it, which was pretty fun. Things like that, I really feel like they should continuously add to Dragon Ball Legends.
This is wasting
to spice
resources.
Up the events that you're doing. Outside of the fact that we're just playing it for Chrono Crystals, there is still a fun aspect that should come first and foremost. At least
just gave my CC for free. I do not give a fuck about your fun aspect, because you don't make PvE fun, Legends. You were not intended to. And you do not. You made PvP more hell, matter of fact, with how you done updates. So, like, my bot is stupid as shit. But the enemy AI, whether it be someone DCs or just I'm playing PvE, they're fucking Aristotle, Einstein, and everyone mixed together. Like, fuck am I supposed to do? My AI is fucking licking his own ass. Like, fuck. I don't want to touch these things, bro.
Or anybody that plays PvP quite consistently, I feel like Dragon Ball Legends has become more grindy versus entertainment. We're grinding to get the characters we like, and when we use the characters we like, we enjoy that. But beyond from that, we should still be having fun from the playable events and campaigns, which I think they could work a bit harder for. And coming out the anniversary, is going to be a steep decline in that. Given in the anniversary, they've even done a lot of that. But I think in this 8th anniversary, they dropped a bit of stuff, so I'll give that to them. I don't want to downplay them too much. But there's naturally going to be a decrease, which is going to make it harder to log into Dragon Ball Legends every single day. But I think those are the main points coming out of the anniversary. The decline in quality overall, when you're subtracting from almost every single department, the animations, the event.
I mean, the expected decline is there. I'm not going to be fucking obtuse to think like, oh, they're not going to decline from the ante. Like, the ante's going to be like just the stepping stone of how good they're going to be within like quality and assurances of like, this unit's really going to be perfect, this guy's going to be amazing. Like, I get a dud's going to happen, I get an ugly little piece of shit's going to drop, I'm with it. Like, I'm not happy about it, but like, realism is realism, right? So I feel like that stepping stone is always kind of like a hopeful thing more than an actual like hopeful thing, because you cannot expect Legends to be good for that long, and that's sad to say, but you just can't. Like, why am I going to put the bar so high where I think, oh yeah, the ante is just the beginning of how good this game's going to start becoming? No. Are you kidding me? I've been here for too many fucking years to think that. The game has fucking horrified me enough in so many sequences where I can't fucking presume anything positive moving forward. I always have to assume the next thing is a negative, which is a fucking, again, terrible connotation to go with the fucking thing you want to play and enjoy, but like, the expectation for something to be worse than better is very high on this game specifically, and it shouldn't change because they haven't really ever changed it. I mean, again, you look at 17 Frieza to Kaioken, it's like, wow, the expectation was over here because of the Dooogote and Gohan Trunks, and even Gohan Trunks have reused animations, but UGB and Broly, and like, great. The quality is like a 8 out of 10. Reuse the ugly shallot, reuse Gohan Trunks LF from Goku Bardock, whatever. And 17 Frieza are looking amazing, and then you get Kaioken ugly ass and mediocre ass, and it's like, well, this had to happen eventually. It's inevitable, and guess what? It happened like it always fucking does.
The typical fun, the Chrono Crystals, all of this is going to make the game feel worse, and people just quit after the anniversary, and they might come back for the festival. But for me, obviously I make content, but aside from that, I do like Dragon Ball Legends, and I always feel like there'll be something soon that I can't predict that will release that I might want to summon for, so I play every day to stack up my CC. But the anniversary decline, that is a very big, very, very big factor.
I just don't feel like you should. Am I dumb? I can't be that dumb. Like, I get retention for like a business. I get it. They want to have their app on retention, like I said, but like, why do I have to log in every day to get CC, bro? Just let me log in once a week. There's CC there sitting for me, and then it's like I don't have to do the event. There's no event. Just give me the new shit, make it impactful, and let me give a fuck about PvP more. How about you incentivize PvP more instead of just keeping this shit the most stale thing it's ever been in its entire fucking life? Because they literally don't update PvP at all. They don't touch that shit. They adjust tier boost. They don't actually adjust the PvP of PvP. They adjust PvE fucking gimmick mechanics that characters have more than they touch the PvP of a PvP game. And it's like, why? Why? What are we scared of? Like, are we that fearful of people having backlash that you can't even fucking try to make something unique? Because the last thing they made unique was Proud and Tri Arena. It's like, shit was made years ago. Like, what? Fuck, like, do something, bro. Fucking move.
Now, this factor is arguably bigger than the previous one, but it has such a large impact on the player base. So
Also
we
accurate.
love this game mainly for its PvP factor. It's what makes it unique. But in combination with what I just mentioned prior regarding all those things in the anniversary, once we leave the anniversary, all of those create like a domino effect in regards to your PvP experience. Now, what do I mean by this? We're getting lesser releases, and that means if you didn't get the anniversary things, the things after are typically not always going to be more powerful or as game changing as the anniversary units, as they usually make anniversary or celebration units stronger so that they can last going forwards, given that the hype is period and it keeps people in the game. Just logically it makes sense, right? Even right now we have a lot of the anniversary units or the units that got buffs in the celebration still running the game. UVB, Boo Bros, Gogeta.
And that's not even a bad thing. Obviously, the units that just dropped should still be dominant, but it's like the closeness factor of someone that's, you know, again, look at Kaioken's closest factor to what he is right now to what, you know, let's say UVB is. And it's like, brother, Kaioken's the new unit. UVB's a 3-year-old fucking dickhead. Like, why is UVB better now than in his prime? By far. Like, when he first released should be his prime. UVB's prime is during the 8th year after party. And it's like, so what? How is the new legend or new ultra or whatever the fuck is going to happen not matching the par of someone that's just a buff? Given it's a fusion, given it's a character that people like, it's just a buff. Like, how are we not like concise in this?
The Blue still running, Broly still alive. We even got Gohan and Trunks cooking. Shalets can even cook. All the celebration units, the 8th anniversary units, are great. But if you didn't have any of them going forward, right, those units won't necessarily save you. It's really a gamble. You don't know if the next release is going to be amazing. You don't know if it's going to be bad. In this case, Gold 17, they're solid, fairs. But Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken,
But even if you have 17 Frieza and you don't have any anniversary unit, what do? What the fuck? You're twiddling your thumbs. You're playing with your cock in your hand. And you're thinking, well, fuck me. What the fuck do I own? Like, I could reroll for 17 Frieza. I could get a full reps team. And I've seen someone do it. And it's like, then they got destroyed because there was anniversary unit on the team. And it's like, they had a full 14-star, the new Kaioken, the new legend of 17 Frieza. They had the 14-star of the Yellow June, is probably the best third on reps. And it's like, wow, I should probably be winning, right? These are the newest units in the game, newest buffs in the game. UVB fucking does 2 cards and he could just 2-card the entire team. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, I guess. Like, what the fuck do you
Goku
do?
Can't say that.
It's the newest campaign, a month-long
He's
campaign,
above
does nothing.
Average at best, and that's highballing him in a lot of people's eyes.
Goku is
what I'm
below
saying?
average.
Outside of that, right, some of the anniversary units are on a decline. So that means you've used all your Chrono Crystals coming out the celebration. The guys that summon for every single release, so now the monthly releases, for example, Go 17, he's going to be at the top of the game, which he is right now. And while your celebration units that are declining, bear in mind, if you're free to play, you might only have 1 copy of every single celebration unit. If you have every single celebration unit.
You probably do not have every single celebration
You
unit.
know what I'm saying? You might have picked horribly. For example, in part 1, right? Let's just say you got 1 copy of Broly. You got a 5-star Broly, you didn't get Gogeta. That Broly is not going to be good right now. I have a 5-star Broly, which is why I can say that. And then in part 2, let's just say you went for Shalette instead of Gohan and Trunks.
If you did that, you're just not very intelligent.
Obviously, Gohan and Trunks are better individually. So now you're stuck with a 5-star Shalette and a 5-star Broly. Double green. That's not the best, but element-wise, I guess it can be good. And then in part 3, you just get shafted. Come on, guys. Like, coming out of the celebration, you are screwed. Especially if the new units that come...
Again, this is what I said earlier. It just makes sense, the creeping that they do within big celebrations every single time. I don't know what they think is, like, this is doing, because it doesn't do a positive. Like, it's good that some units lasted through the ante, like, you know, Legend Rose made it through. He's not really unscathed because now he's just seeing lesser and lesser and lesser and lesser and lesser, and the unique equips kind of make it. You know, TGB makes it. Red Broly, I think, is pretty good right now, and again, units make it through the ante, but like, Why are we having it where Annie is just ruining the legacy of units that could have such a good time? Like, what is the gain? I get making people summon. I get that. Incentivize summons for sure. Get your fucking money. Happy for you. But also, what is the gain from making units that people already own and just summon for lesser? Like, that I don't understand. Because there's nothing, like, it's not like, Legend Broly's countering Legend Rose. No, he's green, and then Legend Rose is blue, and guess what? Legend Rose is going to get fucked by it. But, like, why? What was Legend Rose? Like, I get if it's a toxic character, ruin his entire fucking life. Cool, happy for you. But why are we doing it to just typical? UGB did it against Bardock. Bardock was inherently toxic because he just wouldn't die. And, Stardust Fall, good checkup. Go on Trunks, whatever. Just fucking hammer it home. UVB, fucking hammer it home further. Whatever. Every fucking red unit in the game just get buffed. Why not? Got it there. But random units or typical units, it's like, why are we trying to make them worse faster when they didn't do anything? Like, Legend Rose literally requires you to play the game to win. And then you drop a green, and it's like, I get it. Movies need a green. Movies need this, blah, 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 blah. But why are we doing it where we're trying to just keep dwindling units that aren't that bad to play against? In turn, making those units bad to play against that are dwindling the units that aren't bad to play against. It just doesn't follow any logic. There's nothing there. Like, it's not even monetarily logical.
Come out are not going to be those tags, which they most likely aren't because they tried to do the variety thing. So PvP just gets harder. The units you have, which are probably low stars, get off the boost. Oh my god. You're going into PvP to just get punished. You're going to get off the game. Unless you're one of those people that play 10 games in a row losing. Personally, if I lose 3 to 5 games in a row, I'm off. It's a bad day. Let's try again tomorrow. But some of you guys be running it 10 games, 20 games, literally losing your mind on this game.
People be trying to have fun and then they run. I've done it, bro. I went through a spiral of just like, the game is so boring. I'll try to run something fun that's shit to try to feel some dopamine. It's like a fucking psychological warfare to get enjoyment from something that's meant to make you enjoy. It's like, how fucking difficult do I have to work for that? Very is the answer, and it's fucking ludicrous.
Absolutely spazzing out. Personally, I couldn't do that, but of course losing is not great, and because of that your PvP experience is just going to go down, especially because you're fighting an uphill battle every single time. Naturally, I think a lot of you guys will feel like, yeah, Legends is not it right now. I'll be back in the festival and the celebration where there's more Chrono Crystals for me to summon more anyways, and get more things, given that I'll have a better chance of fighting in PvP versus these units here. For one, they're not even kicking like the celebration units, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku doesn't even hold a hair to any of the celebration units in my opinion. Go 17, he nice. I'm not gonna diss him. He nice for sure. But of course, he's still not a celebration unit, so the hype built around him, the reveal aspect, it's also contributing to even trying to get these units. It's just all negative from the positive that we had previously. Now, this one's a bit more personal based on me playing Dragon Ball Legends for a long amount of time. If you come into my live streams, you'll know this about me a lot.
This is... I feel like even new players are starting to feel this, I can't lie.
You guys that only watch the videos, you might think like I'm a regular at PvP or something, but I used to compete like casually though. Like, if you guys don't know, the highest rank I've reached in PvP is 7, and I wasn't trying. For more context, it was during the Blue Beast Gohan season, one of the most competitive seasons ever in Dragon Ball Legends history. And I was using Ultra Super Gogeta to put more salt on the wounds for the other competitors. Not to say that I would have came number 1, because it requires a lot of effort to play consistently and win consistently. It's more about being good at the game but consistently winning, because some people are good at the game and they don't consistently win. But now, at the
what the fuck that mean?
Point I'm at right now, I take the game very casually on purpose. I don't want to try too hard. I don't want to get cortisol spikes when I'm playing Dragon Ball Legends. The incentive to play is negative. There's very little incentive in ranked PvP.
This is not a like veteran thing. I thought it'd be something different on this. This is just a general thing. There is no incentive. Again, nothing is different. Nothing changes. It's the same typical shit we've been doing for years and years and years. And, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I got you. But, like, add something different. Maybe, maybe just feel out, something that could be changed up and just switched up. But there is no incentive. You literally gain nothing. I could play for... dude, I don't play for, like, 4 days in a row. This past week, I played for 3 to 4 days for a couple hours every day. I'm top 50 in the world, and it's like, I'm not even running a best team. I'm not even trying to run a best team. I'm not even doing anything that's like fucking outlandish. I'm just playing to play. And it's like, it's just easy. And there's not even an incentive to go for anything higher. Matter of fact, you get kind of penalized for being a higher rank because you get less CC if you're like a Z group, and then compared to an S group, you get the Z group. You're probably not getting number one because like the number one guy in your group is like top 4 in the world. You go to an S group, you get number one there, and you're like top 3,000, and then you get more CC. And it's like my incentive to play is me to be lesser rank than someone else, and then I would get more incentive. Like, my literal incentive is to play less. By game standards, they want you to play less. But clearly, they obviously don't.
A lot of you may know, if you're trying to get God rank or something, you just want the flashy number next to your name. I'm a 56-time God rank player, and I will tell you, it is not worth it. You can get more.
Even one God rank don't mean shit, bro. The only God rank that ever meant anything was the first ever with that GV time, and it was like, that is when people gave a fuck. Ever since then, it's never meant anything.
More CC for placing under 1,000, the top 1,000, right, than if you was to place in the top 1,000 in certain cases. And you might be like, well, that doesn't make sense. Yep. Exactly. If your group, right, is a lower one, but you place first in that group, but you're still under top 1,000, as long as you're first in the group and you're within the top 3,000 or even the top 8,000, I think it is, you can get more than somebody that placed in the top 200, which is crazy. Why are you getting more CC than somebody that's grinding harder than you? Clearly, there's an error there, but it's because they're also rewarding you for placing at the top of your group. Well, your group's also RNG, so is that really a good way to rank things? And I feel like if that system's in place, why would I try harder to get less Chrono Crystals just for a flashy number at the top of my name? I know there's a PvP update coming out where they're basically going to get rid of that, and it's seeming to be that they're going to get rid of God rank, and they're also going to change it so there's like a group thing. If you play Valorant or Marvel Rivals, they have similar systems. If it's like that, I think it could be a lot better. But
I still don't know how that does anything for incentive, but I want gameplay change, bro. Just give me a mode that has different gameplay aspects than the current mode. Like, that's it. Have PvP up, standard, proud, okay. Another mode. I can play whenever the fuck I want. I gain rating points from it. I gain more because I'm playing a different mode. Whatever. So let me do something different. Like, I don't give a fuck about no fucking group rating. Fucking, fuck do I care, brother? Fuck. I'm not here to fucking rating. I'm here to fucking play.
But right now, there's no incentive. I haven't gone for God rank in like 2.5 years.
Also, you don't have to go for God rank. You just get God rank. I promise. You play 10 games. You could play 5 games a day. You win 4 of the 5. I bet my fucking left fucking nut you get there. And it's not even close, brother.
Simply because there's no point. I got to 56 times God rank, and I started realizing, yeah, this is not exactly it. I'm playing 2 hours a day, Monday to Sunday. Sometimes 3 hours, by the way. Just to realize I'm getting less CC than a guy that's 3 times worse than me, losing more games than me, you know. And then on top of that, with combination of all the other points I mentioned, the stars, you might not have high stars. Sometimes I don't have high stars. You probably don't have the new units always. That happens to me a lot of the times as well. So it puts me in a position where I'm always fighting an uphill battle. Even if I skilled with them, there is an aspect of it being paid to win where you would need the new characters because there isn't enough CC for you to get the equal opportunity that somebody else that spends money on the game would. Doesn't mean that you can't get them, but it's an RNG thing. It's gacha, you know. You just have to expect that it's part of the game that we play. But yeah, the incentive to play,
expecting it's one thing, accepting it's another. You should not have to accept it. And there's ways to make that rectified, but they just don't want to.
Specifically PvP in the anniversary, there's higher incentive because there's always new characters and new combinations.
They can very much incentivize you having high stars in one spectrum, but in a different spectrum, having high stars does not make the PvP significance that it does. There's ways to make that. Shit, if you want to make events more signifier of high stars mean more, and actually make events interesting because of that, and make it more difficult for people with lower stars on events, then you in turn make PvP more frequently spaced out in fairness by having it where stars don't mean as much. No one's stopping them. Not a human being on the planet. You're still incentivized to summon, right? You're still incentivized for stars. You guys talk about events so much. There you go. There's your incentive.
Things to try.
I rectify
the anniversary,
right there.
There's less characters, and in general, there already wasn't a high incentive to play PvP based on the reward system and the ranking. So then, now that there's even less to witness so consistently, I have even less incentive to want to play PvP, which is very much a shame. I'm not doing an outro for this video. I'm just gonna leave it like that because I think my points make sense, and I already asked you guys to leave your opinions in the.
Yeah, no, I agree with this, obviously. It just is kind of mundane. I mean, I get it. Again, I'm not going to expect a billion things from a game when they just had the big celebration ever, and then every anniversary is the big celebration ever. Every New Legends Fest, big celebration ever. I get it. Like, I got the fucking premise there. I'm not gonna expect everything to be fucking hunky dory, just top notch, fucking tip top shape for the following months. But again, why even make it where the big celebration, it's big, it's awesome, it's great. Why make it where they nullify the last couple months every single time? Because in turn, what that does is makes every single post that celebration hellish. And shit, even during that celebration, it's sometimes even hellish as well. People were bitching a lot when Red Broly had got his equipment, and then it was Red Broly, Green Broly, and UGB. People were fucking livid, and they were like, I need Red Broly fucking gone. Guess what? Okay, they drop Go On Trunks, and then Go On Trunks just nullifying Red Broly's existence in so many capacities. Thank God. But then Go On Trunks, in turn, are very fucking annoying to deal with because Future is just the team of teams. So even during, they kind of make annoyances, but it's clearly more evident once you get past it because now you have these new units, and it's like, here's leader slop, and then here's this failed campaign, then here's this failed legend, then here's this, wannabe hopeful just leader slop with the previous big unit. We get Ultra Cooler that happens, right? Let's say he happens next. You run him with Broly, and it's like, I've had enough of fucking Broly. Get this fucking big dumb fucking gorilla out of my fucking sight, Like, fuck. I say this every time. Hopefully, I love saying the word here. It's the favorite word of Legends. Hopefully, at least creators, they change stuff. They won't, but hopefully they do, because it is really just a fucking, not even just a drought. It's just air. It literally is just air. I just wish it was better, obviously.